Welcome, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. My name is Matt Chavez. I'm here with Alex Genty, bringing you action from Christchurch. The Canterbury Red Devils, hot as a pistol, taking on the Botany Swarm in from Auckland. Alex, a little late on the start here. That's okay. We're going to jam a lot of action in and a lot of notes. We've already had some of this discussion here, but I think we need to save it for in between here. So there's going to be a lot of talking. So make sure I don't miss a thing. We're going to get this the action started with a face-off, but we're going to talk playoffs. We're going to talk Queenstown last week, and we're going to talk different scenarios, and we're just going to talk, right?
There's a lot on here tonight, Matt. Red Devils have a chance to clinch the playoffs with a win tonight. If they win in regulation against the Swarm, the Red Devils are heading to the playoffs and for the first time in what seems like forever, Matt.
All right, face-off beginning the action this afternoon. Joe Orr winning that, and the Red Devils on their way through neutral ice. Swarm looking to break out. That's Commons. He's going to take a shot on Tim Carey's net. That missed wide. And the action is well and truly underway here at the Alpine Ice. Dan Nichols, glad to see him back on the ice. Gains the zone. He moves it across, tries to get it to Orr, but that gets tipped away by Hopkinson. Orr to chase into the corner, up to Commons. Looks like Harry Lowe is on the action there. Pulls his man down just a little bit. That was Sandoy that took the dump, but he is okay and up. And they gain the zone, but they turn it right back over. The Swarm all over it. Not sure if that's going to go for icing. Yes, it is. So there's a quick stop that's going to leave everybody out for the Swarm, but they just hopped the bench anyways, so fresh legs. Alex, tell us a little bit about what you've seen so far already, just in 1 minute.
45 seconds. Both teams got a lot of energy already today, Matt. I told you about just before the first whistle. A lot on the line here for both teams. Swarm trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Red Devils trying to punch their ticket. And
that was an inadvertent icing call, so the center ice face-off drop, and Sideshow gets it back to his teammates, and around they go into neutral. Second line out there for the Devils to start with, or to follow up after that first shift. And the Swarm get a hold of it. Kozak with it. He gains the line. Goes into the corner looking for friends, but doesn't see him yet. Nope. A quick wrister in at a bad angle. That goes out to neutral, and the Swarm reset. Puck dumped in. That's Tappan with it. Makes a good pass there to Lowe. And that's knocked around a little bit in the corner, but the no real danger there yet. Fontaine trying to get rid of it, but he can't. Tappan's going to get a hold of it first. He tries to get it to his friends out there. That was Sideshow with it, and they get it to neutral. That's going to go all the way to Grace Harrison. Grace starting for the Swarm. And officially, that's the first shot. Might be the easiest one she'll ever face for a first shot. That's turned over. Dodwell's got it, and he's going to hold on to that puck, throw it into the corner, and make the Swarm reset for good forechecking for the Devils. That's going to hold everybody up. Leaves a one-on-one for Polozov, who's got a great wrister, but he passes it instead. Heavy shot. Vortinoff with it, misses the target, hits the glass. The puck goes out, back to neutral. Swarm set up again. Doesn't go for icing. It's not far enough, but line changes abound. And Vortinoff with it out to neutral again, passed around. Hopkinson brings it across with some speed. Mawson behind the play, but doesn't get there. And a couple of Red Devils get in the way of each other, trying to get that out. Looking for a pass. And through the slot, the Swarm having a good chance here, but nothing doing yet as far as a direct shot. That's Eddie Commons with a lot of puck, and then finally a whistle here. Not sure exactly what it was. Alex, any idea on the stop?
Yeah, net came off there.
Net came off. I think we are familiar with that one last weekend when we just had all sorts of net problems. I don't know if that's, you think it's due to the warm weather, or, yeah, I don't know. It's just came off again.
Well, it is getting warmer. We're kind of on the other end of winter at the moment, Matt. So, you know, that just looked like Carey leant on his post a little, knocked it right off.
Yeah, I think Carey's been guilty of that the last couple of weeks. A positional goaltender, he swings side to side a lot of pressure on the pipe, and it's coming out. The Devils not able to get it out quite yet. Does go to neutral and pass through. That was Dallimore with it. Some interesting news for Dallimore. We'll get to that in a little bit. He's got the puck. He goes up to to the other Lowe. That was Harry Lowe. Glad he's feeling better. Had a little bit of problems with the trip last week. Now all sorted out. And the Swarm look to break out. That's Commons pushing it up to the left side. And that actually goes to Kyle Johnson. And turned over, but back and forth in the sideboards on the far side. Puck behind the net for Carey. It comes right back out. Oh, there's a bird trapped in the arena. That's an interesting one. And then up right down the center. And some forechecking to hold on to that. That was Atkinson receiving that pass, doing a really good job holding on to it. And a 1-on-3 keeps Puckett out for the Swarm. Harrison gloves that, leaves it for her teammates. And we continue on here with the offensive opportunity. Eden with it off the left side. He gets it off two guys. Quick, nifty little backhand, back to the blue line, sent forward, shot on, but knocked aside. Just a big rebound, but it goes the way of Sandoy and the Swarm. Puckett with it. He's going to take a shot in on Carey. Carey holds on to that one as that goes right in the middle of the equipment, and we stop play with just under 16 minutes to go.
A lot of action here, Matt. Both teams, you can see them. They're jumping today. Like we said, a lot of stakes today, like we haven't seen here in a long time, and interesting wrinkle for the Swarm today. They're playing with 4 defensemen.
Yeah, that is interesting. It's a very short lineup. I know a lot of teams have been dealing with short lineups, but 4 is very thin. The Devils got away with, I think it was 5 last weekend, though, and got a win out of it. So we'll see how that transpires. Syshow taking it forward up the left side. He holds on to it, but runs into 2 Swarm players. And Simon and, well, whoever his friend was, I think that was Sakandi. It is Sankandi, and he sends it around with the Swarm getting in there as quickly as they can. A lot of dump and chase for the first 5 minutes for the Swarm. Nothing straight up and down, but they are looking to get those passes in. But that's got all 4 of the 5 players on that side, so they're really just going deep and digging it out. And the Devils have done okay so far to get rid of it. There's another one that goes out of the, it did go out of the zone. And offsides the call. Dalmato not able to keep that one in.
Swarm making the Red Devils work here really early in the first period. Getting it deep, battling for the puck on the boards. I saw that was, I think, Bull there fighting for it in the corner, dragging it out, getting rid of it just enough to get the offside call. And we'll get play restarted here in a second.
Yeah, it's a bit of a stoppage for, looked like a uniform issue. Vortinov trying to get his elbow cleared up. I don't know what's going on, but he's getting something sorted out, and we'll wait for the face-off on that.
Got to cover them elbow pads up.
Yes, so off we go. Devils win that one. That was Perver with another face-off win. Coming off of a fantastic game Sunday with a lot of face-off wins in clutch situations. Pervert had a great game that way. It's Cole knocked off it for a second. That goes forward. Doesn't really trouble Carey much, but it does stay in the zone for a moment. And back out to neutral. Swarm to reset. Turnover. Pervert tries to swing it in. Comes off a lineman's skate and comes right back out. 2-on-2 forming for the Swarm. And a good move there. And a shot in. Who was that masked man there? That was that Polozov with the nifty move?
Polozov.
Yeah, he good stick handling there. Gets through the little dipsy-do with the 5-hole, his player. Quick spin and a wrister, but not a dangerous wrister there. So we continue on 0-0.
You can just do that, huh? Just walk into the zone, completely undress his man, get a shot on, even if it's not strong. It's just, you know, what a play.
Yeah, Hopkinson loses that one. Eden comes up the left side with it, all the way up on Grace Harrison, going around the cage, looking for a pass out to the blue line. That's kept in by Brown. Sean Brown doing a good job keeping that in, but now he's got a chase. Johnson's got it down the right side. He's back. Dan Nichols has his number, takes him out, moves back out to neutral, and everybody resets looking for it. Back to Nichols. Nichols has got it and passes it forward to or tips it. No icing coming. The Swarm hold on to the puck for just a moment and try to get it out. It's turned over with a good forecheck and deflected to the Swarm. They walk it out. Or no, they choose to turn it over, and that's right to Chris Eden as he was backtracking. And the goal light came on there, but had no business, as that was a A bit of a backhand that was never on target. Puckett with a 1-on-3 up the right side. He shoots high, hits the glass. That hits netting, stopping play. Not sure what was going on with the goal judge there, but they got a little excited.
Yeah, way too much. Chris Eden slid that on the backhand, past the goal, not into it. Good chance 1-on-4 by himself there, but nothing really doing. Dan Nichols at the other end, covering that 1-on-1, getting his stick in there, deflecting it up. I love what he brings to the backhand of this team, Matt.
Yeah, Whitson Lee with that face-off, and looks like the Devils are going to control that one. Harry Lowe with it. Out to tap in. To Lowe, stays in, goes out. Good back pass by Lowe. And that's offsides. And that was Kaluzny taking it in a little bit late. I think he thought everybody was holding up there, but that was not the case. So offsides the call against the Devils. It has been a very fast and furious start here. I'm just catching my breath, honestly, with 7 minutes gone. It's been fast.
This Bird is still sticking around as well.
Yeah, I think he's going to need a little help. That's sent all the way down. Carey plays that off the stick, tapping to collect and set up the offense for the Devils. That goes around and over to Kaluzny. Kaluzny's going to come up the left side. He gets it right this time, comes in, sends it around, and dump and chase for the Devils, but that goes to just Swarm players. Fontaine with it for a second, and then he steals it at neutral. He's going to come in hard off the left side looking for a shot, and that's blocked off the pads or legs there of the defender. Never gets in, but Fontaine digs it out behind the net, does a great job, allows a couple of changes, sends it back through, and the puck stays behind Harrison's goal line there. And Ollie Hay knocks it up to Kozak. Kozak's going to take it out to neutral and throw it in. Well, he's going to take a good wrister on to Tim Carey here, and Kozak wins himself a face-off for the Swarm in the offensive end for them.
Kozak's got to like that one for himself. I saw all 5 Devils around him. He gets the shot off, gets Carey to swallow it, gets a whistle for his team.
Yeah, it seemed like everybody just kind of backed off, waiting for somebody to show up and get past to, but turns out there was nobody there.
He's pretty solidly zoned, 5 guys around him.
That's right. Swarm of the face-off win. Shot was deflected on the way in. And fighting for it in the corner there is Polozov with another good shift and work right there. And he gets the puck again, looking for some help, trying to get it to Kolb, can't do it. Back to Polozov. Polozov passes it, but tic-tac-toe was interrupted, and that game ends up a tie. Puck goes all the way down.
That's all Sideshow.
That is all Sideshow. No icing, but still a lot of forecheck and a lot of hard skating, doing a good job. And what that ends up doing is forcing a long shot by Polozov that gets gloved by Carey. Probably a win for the Swarm, but they could only get a 2-on-3 because of the heavy forecheck.
Nice little shift from Jackson Fontaine there. Created right at the start of it there. Got some done at the end. That's a nice shift for him. Yeah. I think you see already, Matt, the Swarm looks like the more desperate of the 2 teams here. They need to win today, or at least prevent a regulation win for the Devils to keep their playoff chances alive in the league.
Yeah, they're playing hard, and they're playing hard in this first period. It'll be interesting to see from a endurance standpoint, see what happens. Now, that's turned over by Dallimore, but he gets on his back and passes it away, and that goes out to neutral. Dallimore's going to have a charge at this 2-on-1. He gets a pass off, tried to get to Dodwell, but it was behind him. An interesting little tidbit here if we get a stoppage in play about Mr. Liam Dallimore. We'll look for that here in a second. Dodwell out to Dallimore. He passes it back to Nichols, back to Dallimore. He's going to chase it in for a bit. Nichols throws it all the way down. That is going to go for an ice. And there it is. Liam Dallimore has himself a contract. He will be playing professional hockey in Spain.
Wow, Spain.
In Spain. After this, after the season ends here, if it were to go all the way to the very end, he leaves the next day for España and the Golden Shores out there to play ice hockey in Europe. So that's a good break for him, well deserved. And seeing some of his wristers, I'm going to be good to see that in the foreign league. That's tipped, going all the way down for another icing. Simon picks it up for the Swarm, and we go right back to the defensive end.
If I were to dig in on that little fun fact a little more, Matt, could you tell me which team he's playing for in Spain?
No, but I'll ask his dad between the periods if I can find him. I don't. Even if we knew, would we really know? We have to look that up. Although I will plug the website and everything. You can check that out if you're looking at the Red Devils site. I think it's up there on the social media. So we're back underway. Hopkinson with it in neutral, getting it in for the Swarm, looking like an opportunity for them for just a moment. But Eddie Commons was cut off there. And we continue play with the Swarm all over things here. Wrister in, another good save by Carey. That was Commons with the wrister in. Not able to get anything off direction or anything scary, but shots are shots. And there's another one that comes in and deflected hard. That's, I think that was, which Hay was that? That was Andrew that knocked that one around. And that one's going to go all the way for a stoppage. Those same guys will stay out there, but that's all right. It's the top line. Eden, Orr, Nichols, etc. So let's go back to the playoffs here a little bit. So it's interesting. The top three clubs out of the 5 make the playoffs. Boy, you know, maybe we'll hold on to this discussion after the first period. What do you think? Because there's a lot to it. All right, let's focus on the action here. That's on me. Orr wins that one, but it gets pushed out and to the point. That one goes through the slot and turned over for the Devils. That's Bradley Apps with it.
Oh,
then that's knocked away. I think that was Brown, not sure, but that comes up the side for Orr, up the left side with some speed. He looks for a pass. Almost an own goal there by Andrew Hay. Shot in off Harrison. Deflection, not giving up a rebound there. It was a little sloppy in front, but the Apps shot falls just in front, and we stop play.
That's more like it from the Devils. That's the first line there, creating that opportunity. Up the left wing, nearly tipped it into his own net, and then had another shot through the right. That is the start of the creation that we like to see here.
And Apps continuing his good run of form. He had a good Sunday afternoon as well, or Saturday night, excuse me, and getting some good shots in already. Swarm with it on the offensive end. That's kind of lobbed in, but Carey can't hold on to it. It gets knocked behind the net. Bull to Fontaine. Fontaine scrapes it out. They go back to neutral. Low. Sorry, Bull. And Fontaine's in, so they have to wait. Fontaine checks up, and everybody's good. Charge in. Sideshow up the left, trying to hold that puck in, but they work right around him. And that goes back out to neutral. Fortnoff not able to keep it on the tape. Fontaine passing it around up to Sideshow. Sideshow getting it behind him to Boole, but I think that's Cole with it. And back to neutral. Cole loses it. Nobody quite has it yet. And Dallimore with a wrister in. And a rebound there. That was in and out of the glove of Harrison, but a quick recovery, and nobody could get there in time. Stop the play.
It's that professional contract wrister there, Matt.
That's going to earn him the bucks. That's how that works. Now Harrison taking a little bit of a stretch coming out of the goal there. And face-off coming, Perver to take it for the Devils. He holds his position and wins it there. And it's flipped back out. Reese is going to chase that down. No, it's going to be Hopkins that does.
Really aggressive forecheck from the Swarm.
And they may pay for it here if they can get out of this quickly. Dodwell up to center, and he can't get it much past the red line, but the Swarm do send it back in and look for a change. Mason Reese getting the puck first. That bounces around to Dallimore. Dallimore has it. Up to Dodwell. Hopkins. Looking for some long passes here, but that one works, and then it goes up to Orr. Orr's got a wrister and a heavy one and a shot in. Dallimore, or Dodwell, sorry, with the rebound shot. Can't get that by Harrison. Two good ones for the Devils there. But the Swarm survive, and the big man Mawson comes up from defense. Good move just over the crossbar, but that was an excellent, dangerous shot by the Swarm. Looking very dangerous to start with here, now that Mawson and his flowing mullet are involved. Good hit taking Mawson off. Good hip check. Kozak with a wrister. But that's going to get sent back out. It might go too far, and it will. That is going to be icing against the Red Devils.
Swarm forwards look really impressive early in this game, especially Polozov. I've picked him out as one. And on our other end, I believe it's number 28 here. Yeah, Kozak. The two of them have just been dynamic in the offensive zone. Polozov especially, the way he keeps the puck on his stick for so long, gets around guys, creates angles that other guys just don't, and is making a lot of things happen here for the Swarm.
Yeah, and Polozov, he's been around the league for a long time. He knows exactly what he's doing and is a stalwart here for the Swarm. Vortinoff loses that face-off for the Swarm, but it's going to go all the way back, and maybe we have another icing here. Maybe not. It's waved off. Apps is up on the forecheck. Swarm getting ready to move out. Trying to cause a little havoc here in the defensive end, but Cole holds on to it, and he's going to pass that forward to Vortinoff. And he kind of loses an edge there in the corner. Not sure if he was helped along, but Eden's going to take it up the right side. No, he's going to go up the middle. He's trying to get a wrister off. Can't do it. Ooh. That goes right into the slot, but nobody home. Turnaround shot by Apps. Doesn't get anything on it, and out to neutral, but held up quickly by Dan Nichols. That comes right back in. Another long offensive opportunity for the Devils here. Long shot in. That's just barely off. Looking to get it back to Brown on the point, but Atkinson can't do that. And Sandoy takes a fall. No stick at the moment. Not sure if it's broken or not, but he doesn't have it in his hands. Big man there with no stick. And Harrison's going to do what she can to hold on to that, and she does exactly that to allow the Swarm to reset themselves and stop play.
It's very hard to overstate how big this top line is for the Devils this year. The addition of Joe Orr between Apps and Eden has just been so big for them. You see it there on that shift. The Orr dynamic just creates something super impressive down low. He's so tight on the puck. He's willing to go down beneath the goal, take it there where perhaps Apps and Eden aren't, and feed it back to them and create chances like you saw just then.
Bull with that face-off win, and the Devils dig along that left side trying to get something started here, but that does go to the point, and big hold up there. Tappan trying to physically hold on to it, and that's a hand pass actually. So hand pass called against the Swarm. That's going to go all the way into the offensive end for the Devils, and we'll see if they set up here. I don't think they're allowed to change on that either.
No, I don't think so on the hand pass.
So an opportunity here for the Fontaine-Saicho Bull line to get something going and get the scoring started here this afternoon. They win the face-off. Bull with it. Back to Fontaine. He tries to get it around, but it's turned over. Mawson getting it out. Oh, and Mawson telling Fontaine who's boss around here. Fontaine is fast, but he's not the tallest guy out there, and Mawson might be. And that gets passed towards him as he comes up the center line. That gets knocked away, sent behind. And the Swarm are moving things around. Puckett with it, and he loses it in the corner. That goes to Saicho. Saicho not in a good spot to get rid of it. Hopkinson holds it in. Not Hopkins, but Hopkinson from the Swarm. And we continue with an opportunity for the boys in white. And that's going to get passed out all the way to Saicho, out to neutral. That was Whitson Lee that kind of took the worst end of that. And back out to neutral. Good nice move by Tappan, but he passes it to nobody. And Kozak's going to get a big rip at it. That goes hard left. Looked like my 7-iron getting pulled, and it's almost nothing there. Nothing to worry about. Neutral ice and back and forth. The Swarm take it back in. I really got to get rid of that pull on my swing. Anyway, puck in the back, and looks like it's just held in there, but I don't think they're not going to give a whistle for this unless it really sits in there and it's dug out. It does get dug out by the Devils. It does not go to neutral. Yes, it is. That's offsides. It was dancing on that blue line, and we couldn't really tell if it was spinning on one side or the other, but offside's the call.
Yeah, Swarm seemed not too sure themselves, especially Mawson and his big head of hair there. Seemed a little uncertain about whether that came out or not, but the call is that it did, and they'll start just outside the zone.
Yeah, Mawson should have his own contract for conditioner. That is amazing. So Off we go with Orr in the top line, back out there against the top line of the Swarm. Vortanov's out there again, and Polozov. And that gets won by the Devils out to neutral and collected by Eden. And back to Eden. He's looking to break out. That pass goes forward. Goes up to Mason Reese and then up to Apps. Unusual. Apps usually just takes those, but Reese jumped in on that, and that's going to be passed straight to a Swarm player, but it's offside for just a moment. Shot in, and that was a wizard by Polozov for just a moment. And that's back out to neutral. Eden's going to take it up 2-on-3, but he's got Orr off the left if he can get it through. Cannot. Simon with a good defensive play for the Swarm. Turned over, shot in. That was off to the side. Apps was a little off target there. And Reese is off the ice there, so we'll see how that gets turned around. Changes for both sides. And Nichols looking to get it to Eden with some space, but he missed it just by a little bit. And that's Harry Lowe collecting it, but it hits a skate by the linesman, stays in for the Swarm. That was Hopkinson, the resulting player, with a bit of luck there, but that does go out to neutral, and the Swarm have to reset. Forward up to Johnson. That was a pass from Taylor as that line goes back out. It's interesting, Sandoy with a long shot in on Tim Carey, looking for a deflection really, because that was a floater and he couldn't get anything on it. I think the key here that we haven't talked about too much yet, as you said, there's only 4 defensemen for the Swarm, so you're either going to see rotations of 2 lines of D, or you're going to see a lot of forwards playing back, which may account for the aggressiveness in this first period to start with. Yeah, it's a good way to counteract it. You're short on the back end, just play in the other zone. Reed Cole loses that one. Brown picks it up. And Fontaine trying to dig it out. They go back and forth. And that's going to be a Devils puck out to Sysho. Up forward to Boole, but Boole's a little bit by it. And Mawson has it. Nice play. Can't hold on to it. Back to neutral ice. A good spin around by Fontaine, but he misses his target. And the Swarm come back in. 3 forwards coming in. Whitson Lee's going to come back out for, looks like 4 forwards here. That goes all the way to Carey. Carey's going to sweep it away. And then here comes Andy Hay. So Andy's going to be the, they are basically running 4 forwards here. Big hit in the corner. And the Devils break out. Shot right up the middle. Sysho with it. He took that pass from Brown, and Brown's going to get off the ice. There's only a minute left to go in this first period. Dallimore presses that, and that shot goes up and hits a beam. So it's going to be a offensive zone face-off for the Red Devils. Where's the first period gone, Matt? We've already played 19 minutes of hockey. I can tell you, it's gone right through my lungs. I haven't shut up at like 25 straight minutes, it feels like. This game has gone turbo speed, and I think that's by design. No penalties, no big stoppages, no goals yet, but good hockey this afternoon. Dallimore with a wrister that's deflected on the way in. Dodwell trying to get there but can't do it, and it goes out to neutral, where Tappan's going to collect from Whitson Lee, and that's going to go Herver back flipping it in, and the Swarm gets set up for an offensive run. Turnover with another heavy forecheck by the Devils. Not a bad thing, but it's going to come back at them. Just comes back at them 1-on-3, and they can turn away that offensive opportunity by the Swarm with some ease. Oh, big hit by Josh Lowe. And the Swarm hold on to it. Whitson Lee up the right side trying to get some speed, but he goes right to the middle and then meets Kozak with who has to take a quick shot with nothing on it. And that goes easily off Carey's blocker into the corner, and the Devils continue play with 2 seconds, and that's about it. Harrison watches it go by with no problems at all, and a very fast-paced, uninterrupted first period of hockey. I mean, it feels like we're watching a scrimmage that just doesn't stop and doesn't have any whistles. Yeah, it's just going like my Thursday night scrimmages, Matt.
But, you know, it feels like this game is getting itself established as we go forward. Both teams were feeling each other out there. We were getting some more action towards the end. Neither goalie had a lot to do. I'd say Carey probably had to make more saves than Grace Harrison at the other end, but both relatively untested at the end of the first period. Heading into the second, we're still tied 0-0, both teams planning to play for.
All right, so now that we've had this first period of action and we know where things stand, let's kind of slow down a minute and talk about what this game means. So we've alluded to it already, but a win here in regulation with a 3-2-1 system means that the Botany Swarm cannot catch the Red Devils, which means with a 10-point lead and 3 games to go, this means they're in the playoffs, full stop. So this game means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt. A win in regulation for the Red Devils would simultaneously secure the Red Devils spot and eliminate the Swarm. So, of course, planning to play for between the Devils and the Swarm here. A Swarm win would, you know, everything's still in play. We play again tomorrow. You know, we just kind of reset it, play again if that's the case. But Red Devils have a chance to take care of business today. They have a lot to play for overall as well.
Yeah.
We talked how they went into Queenstown last weekend. They took 1 of 2 in regulation. That's a big win for the Red Devils. Going into Queenstown and taking a game there is not easy at all. I think it's really important to sort of accentuate that point because teams don't do that. Before this year, teams do not go into Queenstown and win games in their home building. It's happened, I think, twice this season now, or is that the first one?
No, it actually, so Queenstown lost a second game, but they lost it to this same Botany Swarm team in Auckland at Paradise.
Okay.
So they hadn't, I think it had been 3 years since they'd lost a home game of any kind. Now, granted, there were some interruptions and COVID and all of that kind of stuff, but it's even back then, it just didn't happen, and it certainly didn't happen when the Red Devils came to town. That was just a lock 6 points, and the reason that they ended up in the 1 seed all the time is Sky City's just sitting there at home as a fortress. Now, I will say, it is a nice building. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty cool. It's small, but it's a good one. And their fans are right on top of you, and they're very knowledgeable, and it must help completely just turn that into a hockey town. And it does. Having been there last week, I didn't really realize how much of a hockey town it is. It really is. They love the game. They put we've got our stream on here. They put their streams on in the sports bars and watch it. So it's quite a thing there. So for us to come out with, it was 2 close games. 4-3 was kind of the running. It was 4-1 for most of Saturday's third period, and a couple of quick ones made it very nerve-wracking for everybody at 4-3 when we finished up on Saturday, but Queenstown won. The Stampede managed that 1 win, but then they were behind the whole afternoon on Sunday, and the Devils had just enough to get through with a 4-3 win there. That was 5-3 on Saturday because of the empty net goal that ended it, but they were very even, very, very even contests on the road. So here we are talking about where things end up. Now that Fortress has played a big part in the likelihood that the Sky City Stampede are going to be the 1 seed. So tell us about, I think you talked to the commish, the GM, about the format for the playoffs. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the 1 seed is, you know, more or less likely to go to the Stampede. The Red Devils would need a lot of help to make that even a possibility. So without focusing on that, the first round of the playoffs is Team 2 against Team 3. Team 2 hosts a 2-game series. So, you know, it wouldn't be unlike this weekend. Say the Red Devils secure the 2 seed. The 2 games will be here in Christchurch at the Alpine Ice Sports Centre. That is a 2-game playoff series in which it's the aggregate of the 2 games is what is the decider, rather than a weekend series or however else that may be decided. So say that the first game is 2-1, the second game is, I don't know, 3-2 the other way. That would be tied at the end of regulation across the 2 games, and then you would play from there to decide the winner. And so the winner of that weekend series of 2-3 on the aggregate 2-game series will then go to the number 1 seed, which in all likelihood is the Sky City Stampede. They would go to Queenstown, and it's a best-of-3 series to decide the winner of the Virgil Cup.
Right, so whoever comes out of the playoff series, the 6-period game, if you will, the winner of that gets a home game on the Friday at their building, and then Saturday, Sunday against the 1 seed on the road in the first weekend of October. So all to play for here, but I think what's going to be interesting is if they can figure this one out and get it done today, the Red Devils sort this out. There's going to be a lot to play for at the end of the year, because who do we have? Well, you're going up there for that game, right? So that weekend series.
Yeah. The Canterbury Red Devils will take on the West Auckland Admirals. I believe that is 2 weeks away currently.
Yep.
And as the standings sit at the moment, those are the 2 and 3 teams on the standings. So
yep.
If it stays put through then, obviously there's still games to play between now and then. There's many things that could happen. But if those are teams 2 and 3 going into that weekend, essentially the winner of that weekend series gets to host the next weekend series. So
right.
Plenty to play for in the last couple of series here for the Red Devils.
3 weekends. It'll be the 17th and 18th of September. You'll be up there.
Right.
And like I did with Dave, I had a lot of fun, by the way. Thank you, Dave, for hosting us. I appreciate that. Alex is going to go up and do some color for that particular game, so that should be a good time. And yeah, we're looking forward to it. But this is the home closer in the regular season for the Devils. I can't even remember the last time it was important like this. We always had good hockey and looking into next season and those kinds of cliches, playing for jobs, however you want to put it. Now it's close out and get the playoffs in behind you and get sorted and figure out who you're playing. It's a different kettle of fish.
Completely different feeling in the building too. It feels like these fans aren't here to wrap up the season anymore, Matt. It feels like there's still a lot to play for. It feels like we're halfway through.
Yep.
And for that to be the case, obviously we'll need to pick up a regulation win or 2 overtime wins today and tomorrow. Obviously heaps to play for the Red Devils. Can secure their spot in the playoffs for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of different permutations that can happen here. We're just kind of dealing with wins and losses, but yeah, the way the point system works, it can still get weird. So I think what we're going to do here is we're going to take a shorter break. We're going to be back to cover second period action after this first intermission in about, well, let's say 5 or 6 minutes, and we'll get back with you to call the action here at the Alpine Ice in just a few minutes. Kia ora koutou. Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center. We're about to have second period action here at the Alpine between the Canterbury Red Devils and the Botany Swarm. No score up there yet. And we got a bit of a ceremony coming up here in just a moment, so we'll kind of hold up here for just a minute and let that all happen. And we'll get back to talking about it. But actually, Alex, while we've got a minute, not a whole lot going on there yet. Like I said in the break, first goal is going to crack this one wide open, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a whole lot to do for either goalie so far. Both defenses done a lot. Hold on, we got this announcement.
Everybody, gonna get ready here for some second period action. After all the discussions and everything are done, Jeff's got his life membership. We are back underway in this second period with the long shifts. Orr loses that face-off, and the Swarm get going. And back and forth we go to get started here in the second. A big shot in by Commons, flipped through, and that was a big miss. That actually should have been buried by, I think that was Hopkinson that missed that one through the slot. Big opportunity by the boards for the Swarm to go one up early, but not yet. And Simon with it, missed. Right out in front, good save by Carey. Couple of changes for the Swarm. Simon in with another shot. That one goes right in the gear. That's a dangerous hopping first shift by the Swarm. Excuse the pun, Matt, but the Swarm are buzzing early in the second period. I knew that was coming. That shot right across the slot. There's plenty of net to shoot at. I think Hopkinson, you put the blame on there. He had a lot of net to shoot at. Carey wasn't square to it, but 0-0 it continues. And Cole wins that one, goes to Vortnoff for just a moment, but they hold it in and they continue. Polozov's got it in the corner on that side, on the near side here. Well, that gets turned back around. A bit of a trip there, but that was unintentional. Polozov looking for a pass, couldn't get it to Vortinov. That was tapping in the right place at the right time. That puck comes back in, but it's going to go right back out. And the Devils try to get it to neutral. They do for a moment, but it comes right back in 3-on-4. Cole's got it. He's looking for something right in front of Carey. And a good opportunity for the Swarm twice there. I think that's 4 good shots for them so far in the period, but burying exactly none of them. Saicho up the left side. Big line change for the Devils, hitting some legs back out there. Polozov gets it behind the cage with Harrison looking at it go by on the right side. Swarm break out. Everybody on the right side for the Swarm. Turned over, and I think it's Dallimore getting to Perver here. And 3-on-2 here. Dallimore with a wrist off the post. Rung the bell. And that's turned back over. Reese has it. He's looking to get it out. Sandoy's got it now. He's going to flip in. Winston gets it back behind the net. And that's turned to Dodwell. Dodwell's going to get it to Dallimore. Dallimore's 1-on-4. He's going to just flip it in right on Harrison. And Harrison's going to cover up to stop play.
Good work from, I believe that's Dallimore there, just flipping it in at the end of the shift. Lennon had a bit of a yelp as he gets to the bench there after hitting the post so squarely there, Matt. Hit the post and came right back towards me. You can't hit it much cleaner than that.
No, that was a big ringer, and the bell said that was close but no cigar. So face-off coming after the Harrison glove. And that's won by the Swarm immediately and turned back. But the Devils are going to get there first. And that's Big Dan Nichols sending it around. Doesn't quite get it out. Atkinson trying to get to it. Ooh. That comes in at a dangerous pace. Atkinson sweeping it away, but into an opponent's stick. And they're going to chase in here. Atkinson up the right side on Sandoy. A couple of bigger guys out there, and that's off to Kozak. Kozak's going to flip it out to neutral. Kaluzny with it for just a moment, but now he's off sides. Now he clears, but that's not in time, so Simon's got it, and the Swarm looking for a 3-on-3. Big slap shot coming in. Carey right in the gear, in the chest, and covers up as that bounces back. Big shot by Andre Kozak.
Really important for Carey there to stay strong through that angle, because you have the man, number 46 for the Swarm there. He's cutting in across the angle. He wants to get that right out of your glove, basically, trying to pick it out of the air, but Carey stays strong, stays over the puck, and freezes it for his teammates.
Top line back out there, order take, wins that face-off, goes to Eden. Eden's going to go around the cage, looks to go up the right side. He flips it out, doesn't get it completely out of the zone. Then it does go to neutral. Orr's got it with Apps there. Orr takes the left side, which is unusual. Apps in the middle. Apps with a wrister that hits the back of the net. Harrison looks at it and goes across. Out to Lowe. Lowe's got it at the point. He sends it forward, but that's deflected away. Shot in by Orr. Ooh. And Harrison holds on to that. Boy, I'm going to apologize now. My voice is going to crack. I've been dealing with some things, so I'm sure I'll get made fun of. That's okay, but it's coming, Alex, so be warned.
Not from me or Matt, but Joe Orr creates a hell of a sequence there. He gets him behind the net, gets the shot off for the end. Grace Harrison loses it and it pads a little bit, but that puck stays at least, if not in front of her, at least not behind her, and the play gets restarted here, still locked at 0.
And Polozov with it. That goes right out in front of Harrison, but controlled by the Swarm. Goes back to Tappan. Tappan throws it in to Sandoy. Sandoy's going to sit there and turn it back around. Vortinov's got it. He puts it back to neutral. Reset for the Devils. Out to Lowe. Lowe's going to carry it in. He goes up the right side. Leaves it for Orr. Orr sends it in, and it's a glove save off target and a hold for face-off by Harrison.
There's that first line working as intended there. Their first shift of the period, obviously not ideal, stuck down their own end, but creating a little bit there. Joe was skating around guys already. Bradley out's got his shot working. It's looking pretty good for the top line of the Devils.
And Bull loses that one out to, I think that's Hay that's got it, but he turns it over. Oh, and it was a quick turnover back to the Swarm, 3-on-2. They gain the zone. Vortinov holds up. A little shake and bake by Polozov. Polozov throws it forward. Carey doesn't have it in front of him. Knocked around and a heavy shot in. A little slow dinger right off his shoulder pad. And the Devils escape 2 good opportunities by the Swarm as they reset. and go after the offense one more time. Polozov holds on to it, but can't hold it bring it into the zone with him, so he has to go back. Fontaine gets off the ice after he dumps it in. Seisho to follow, and Dallimore, and holds it in. Seisho with a big shot just over the net, over the crossbar. And that goes back on in. Winston Lee with it. And the Swarm break it out. They've got a bit of an advantage here. Winston Lee with some speed up the left side. Great defense by Brown as he knocked it right off Winston Lee's stick. That goes up and into the netting for a defensive zone face-off, but big stop there by Sean Brown.
Man, we've got ourselves a hockey game here, Matt. I've just been nodding away the last couple of minutes. The Red Devils have been doing great. A lot of hustle on their end. Jackson Fontaine picking Polozov's pocket, creating an opportunity down the front end. Good defense from Sean Brown on the back end, and the Swarm are up to the task too. This is really a battle of the heavyweights here, Matt.
Yeah, big hit there, but avoided mostly by Brown. Up to Dallimore, he's going to wrist in. Harrison, nothing doing, and everybody holds up for a face-off. It feels like this might even be a faster pace than the first period. It's all about speed, speed, speed right now.
Yeah, both teams are really into it here. They're creating opportunities at each end. We see Carey especially. He's been showing you the benefits of their positional goaltending. He's able to recover quick, be square to the next shot, and get back at it. Even if he's not holding all the rebounds today, he's doing so well at controlling them and keeping the puck in front of him at all times.
Really good work there by Brown, 3 times keeping it in on the blue line, but it does get passed back out. He does kind of swing at it. It flips up and over the boards into the netting for a stop and play at neutral ice. Aotearoa Gaming Trust, funding your community. Thank you for your sponsorship in the 2022 season. We appreciate your help, Aotearoa Gaming Trust. Fisher Ice Hockey in Spinorama, New Zealand, also sponsors 2022. We really appreciate the gear and equipment from Spinorama and from Fisher Ice Hockey. Thank you for your support. Swarm with it. They take a long swing in. It looks like Commons trying to play up on it with Hopkinson, but Hopkinson gets to it and throws it in the corner, but it does go out back to Commons. One and done. Flips it in the side of the net. Well, the Swarm are going to keep at this, even though they're kind of playing against a high box, and that zone eventually works. Oh, and a shot! Hopkinson with the goal. Carey never saw it as it goes over a bunch of bodies, and a good shot, getting it just over the pile.
The Swarm are creating opportunities so well there in the offensive zone. They've got the pipe, they've got it round, and you see the little toe drags and the little moves they pull off in the middle of that to send the Devils scrambling. You saw guys like Josh Lowe laying his body on the line there, diving across, but because the shot's faked, that creates another angle for the Swarm to shoot. Hopkinson gets it through. Carey never saw it, like you said, and it's 1-0.
And you had 4 players kind of zooming together really high for all of those players, and then just as the puck squirrels away, there's an opportunity for the Swarm. So 1-0 to score. Fontaine with it. He throws it forward. Seisho's going to race, but doesn't get there in time. But he does get it off for a little turnover shot by Bull, but he can't do much with it. And Polozov with a shot right out in front. Fantastic defense.
My goodness.
And 4 shots.
How does that not go
in? What a great defensive sequence. Polozov completely robbed there. And the Devils pulling off a minor miracle, keeping that puck out of the goal. Mawson with it, takes the shot, and that gets deflected up in the netting. And boy, do they need a break. That was a rough sequence for the Devils, but they managed to hold it out.
It felt like that was unfolded in slow motion in front of us, Matt. The puck's fluttering, it's floating, it's in the crease, it's out of the crease. It's on top of the goalie at one point, but it stays out of the net. And it's still 1-0 for the Swarm. The Swarm are really kicking it into gear here. The Devils need to find their footing.
Yeah, it's just over 6 minutes in, and the ice is tilted on the long shift period. Not that they've been super outplayed or anything, but the opportunities have been there. If the Swarm start burying a few of these, it's going to go quickly. But Perver with it, out to the point to Brown. Brown's got it back in. He gets it right back to his stick, sends it forward. In on Harrison, and a settled down offense with a controlled, what do you call them, a slap pass? Right in on the goaltender, looking for a rebound, and we stop play with a glove save. Cedra Express, elite medical courier. We thank Cedra Express for their sponsorship in the 2022 season. We appreciate it. Face-off won by the Devils, but goes out to neutral. They clear and send it deep. And that goes back to the Swarm to set up an offensive opportunity. Quickly turned back around. And that's Lowe with it to Nichols. Nichols gets it across the ice to Dodwell. Dodwell sends it forward. Lowe to Chase. Mawson's going to get there first. And the big man moves that puck out. And the Swarm get going here. Long shot in as they gain the zone, but it comes right back out. And with some speed, Atkinson's coming up the right side. He flips it, but ends up taking out 2 players, which may be more beneficial in the long run. And the puck kind of fluttered into the corner with no real danger, but Lowe's going to collect it again, bring it in, gain the zone, leave it for the point to Kaluzny. Kaluzny sends it all the way around Atkinson to Chase, but Simon gets there first. And that's sent out to neutral. Devils reset for another offensive go, but that one goes to Lowe as he gains the zone and pushes it forward. Simon knocks it back. Eden's got it up the right side and play stopped. 6 men on the ice. Who's that against?
Red Devils, I think. Chris Eden coming onto the ice, touching that puck. He is looking not happy about that call still in the offensive zone, but the Red Devils will serve a penalty here. Too many men.
Well, that is the very first penalty of the game. It took 28 minutes to get there, and Atkinson is going to serve the 2-minute minor for the Devils as the Swarm are looking to double up their lead here with a power play. Spark New Zealand, Business Hub Christchurch. Thank you, Spark New Zealand, for sponsoring the 2022 Red Devils. We appreciate it. Face-off won by the Swarm, but that gets knocked right back out. And we keep going with the Swarm on the power play. Andy Hay gets that puck knocked away, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time. Hopkinson has it. He's the goal scorer, of course. And Eden trying to get a hold of it. He's knocked around. Eden and Orr being out here on the power play, or penalty kill for the Devils is a dangerous proposition for a counterattack for the Swarm. Mawson comes back out. He's looking for the puck behind the play. Nobody sees him yet. And Sandoy holds on to it, gets it to the sideboard. Fighting and out of the zone, and the Swarm have to reset with 1:10 to go in the power play for 6 men on the ice. Eden doing some yeoman's work out there, just trying to knock everybody around, but he's going to go for a change, and that leaves 3 on the ice for the Devils as Lowe comes back out. Brown leaves the puck behind him and forgets it, but still causes enough of a problem for Vortinov and Polizov to not be able to connect on that play. And for the first time, the Swarm kind of set up with a zone in front of them and an easy goal. An absolutely easy goal with defenders out of position for the Devils. And it is 2-0, the Swarm with a big goal as that one-timer comes across the slot and nobody's home.
Yeah, that's just blown coverage on the Devils there. You can't allow that. I mean, you can allow the shot from the high slot there, but you can't allow it to be completely unchecked as it was. The defenders all pull across to the one side, battling for the puck. We saw both forwards go in for it there, get dragged across, which leaves that side so open for the Swarm. They bang it across and carries nowhere to be seen. The goal makes it 2-0 here.
So 2-0 the score, and yeah, the box drill for the penalty kill. The back line really can't get dragged that way. That was a mental error that the Botany Swarm took advantage of, and a 2-goal lead for the visitors from Auckland on this pivotal afternoon here, where the Red Devils can put this season into a good spot and actually clinch a playoff berth today with this and 3 other games to go. But they've got to do their business, and that means 3 more goals out of the Devils. Can happen, and they happen in spurts. So we'll see how this goes. But the Swarm back out 5-on-5, of course, as the penalty is cleared. We get underway with regular old hockey, and the Swarm looking to break that out. That's just kind of a hard time for Whitson Lee to get that puck out, and that's turned over. Fontaine's got it. And the Devils trying to get something started here. Lowe throws it in up the left side, but it doesn't go that far. And back to neutral. That's turned over. 1-on-3 opportunity here. Wrister up, and that was Puckett with the kind of the wrister that floated up and hit a stick and out of play.
Halfway home here in this one, Matt. Swarm with a 2-0 lead. Those two goals came in pretty quick succession from each other, taking advantage of a bit of a lapse in the Devils. They've been in a little bit of a lull here the last few minutes. Time to pick it up.
Yeah, that lull has cost them quite a bit this afternoon, having to play from behind against this team. But if you look on the season series, the Botany Swarm had a pretty good game against them up there, but they only split the series, if memory serves. Somebody on the chat, I'm sure, will correct me if that's wrong, but this is a good hockey team that's down here in white. Apps up the right side. He's traveling with some speed. He sends it in on Harrison, and Sandoy goes into the right pipe and is going to stop play. Either way, it was in the glove, so face-off coming. No change because we're saying the pipes came off. So Mawson doesn't get to come out for the Swarm here. Go Media, 2022 sponsor of the Canterbury Red Devils. Thank you, Go Media, for your sponsorship in joining the Canterbury Red Devils family. And I think they figured out which 5 players and goalie need to be out there. So face-off coming in the offensive zone. Orr's going to get it, and he wins that one back to Eden, but Eden's kind of walking that forward into a bunch of traffic, and that gets bounced back out to neutral, and some play behind. Little shenanigans in the defensive end, but Hopkinson with it again, and Hopkinson with a quick wrister. Hopkinson, the first goal, so a little bit of a dangerous play there for the Swarm, getting a bit of a man advantage there. So was that, it looked like Eden was just behind the play there off camera. He was just kind of holding on to a stick for somebody else. I think it was Sandoy, and Sandoy took exception to it, and it got tangled up in the laundry.
Yeah, a little bit of exception taken behind the play there, getting the crowd into it here this afternoon.
And we've got Cole to take this face off for the Swarm, going up against Perver. And Cole wins that one out to Vortenoff. Up to Simon. That gets flipped off the glove. That did not miss by much, but Carey kept it out. And Nichols tied up behind Vortenoff. Sorry, that was Polizov. The Ov boys on it today, but 3-on-1 coming up, or 3-on-3. Dallimore taking it through, and Polizov winning the puck. Turn right back around. Cole touched it, but he's not. It looks like it's going to go for an ice if it gets there. Perver was there, but no call. Perver's going to hold on to it. And the Devils are going to break out here. Gets it up to Dallimore. Dallimore loses it, but loses it forward, and he's interfered with. That is going to be 2 minutes coming up here. Well, Mawson's asking for a dive, but he can ask all he wants. He did interfere with Dallimore there, and that's going to cost him 2 minutes.
I was even going to say that's a good play from Mawson to take that penalty there. The puck was all past him. He's trying to keep Dallimore zoned. Has to take a step to his right to get him out of the way, so that's as easy as they come in terms of an interference call, but I'd argue that's a good penalty to take given the circumstances.
Yeah, I'd agree with that, and with that, the first power play for the afternoon, Tappan with the puck as Orr won that face-off. Eden's going to come at the right side, thinks better of it, spins around out to Tappan on the blue line. He passes it across to Apps. Apps at the point, back to Tappan. He's going to go to Eden, goes behind him, and a high box giving some trouble to the Devils. A long slapper in, looking for a deflection by Tappan, but as that gets deflected up, it's right into Harrison's gear.
Yeah, that play working as the Devils want it to do. Getting the point shot, getting the traffic in front. It sounded like it did tick off a stick on the way through to Harrison, but juggled no problem into the chest, and we'll get another start here. Same
players there. Orr wins it again. Out to Tappan. Tappan pushes it to Eden. Back to Tappan at the top. Back to Eden. He's going to walk it in. Out to Tappan again. He's looking for a pass. Apps on the left side. Tough angle. He walks it around, takes a shot in. That hits Harrison on the shoulder, goes up and into the netting behind play for another offensive faceoff.
It's quite a nice power play we've got developing here. The Devils moving it around plenty as they want to, and the Swarm's aggressive box as well is giving them a nice challenge. They're managing to deal with it so far, but it's a nice little back and forth.
And so far it hasn't left the offensive zone, so that's good news for the Devils. That one's going to stay in. Eden collects it, sent through, but that hits bodies. It looks like it was off Commons, and he's trying to get it out, but he can't do it. Orr digs it away from him. He's in the near boards. Orr is still digging, trying to get that puck out. Eden with it for a second, then back to Orr. Orr walks it out, and he holds on to it. Good move off the skate to hold the puck, and that goes all the way out to Apps. He's against the far side boards, and then it goes to Orr. He's going to have to collect it in the near corner out to Eden. Eden's going to hold on to it for a second, looking to beat his player, but that's Puckett coming way out to take Eden on, and it's working so far for the Swarm. High zone working well, disrupting the shooting lanes mostly for the Devils. Back out to Apps. He's going to take a kind of a pass to the side to Eden. Eden holding on to it. Apps with a big slap shot, and I'm not sure why that was held up. Hands are up in the air. Face-off is going to be in the offensive zone, so it lets everybody change up here.
Goalpost.
Goalpost, yep. So it's funny, it hit it. You could hear it ring. I thought it hit the base. It didn't look like a pipe ringer on the side, but Apps with a heavy shot in, and that net comes off again. So small delay here. Majors Contracting, a 2022 sponsor of the Canterbury Red Devils. Thank you very much. Majors Contracting. Face-off won by the Swarm that time, and a big one at that. Fontaine's got to collect it in neutral, and he sends it back to Brown. And Brown gets it up to Perver. Perver's onside. Holds on to it, back out to Brown. Brown's looking to get to the left. Big shot in on by Fontaine, but that was a little bit high. He collects the rebound as it goes out to neutral. He's tripped up a little bit, but that penalty is almost done, and it is done. And we're back to 5-on-5. Good kill by the Swarm there, all things considered. Brown with it as he collects it on the defensive end. And we're back to 5-on-5. That's going a long ways. That's going to go for icing as Sandoy's the first one over there. And the face-off comes all the way back to reset play. 5:39 officially on the board. 2-0 the score, and I have to say, the Swarm look like they're in a bit of control here.
Yeah, definitely. The Swarm looking really good at the moment. Being able to keep that power play out whichever way they can. Devils had some good opportunities, but, you know, at the end of the day, it does not score, and that's the main objective there. And since the Swarm right back at it in the offensive zone.
No one's ever won a game without any goals, right? So the Devils trying to break out of their offensive zone. They are doing that. Long pass up. Ooh. Not quite connected, but it's still going to go to Sideshow up to Perver, and they gain the zone. Whether that stays in with Fontaine or not, it looks like the Swarm have it, but it allowed for a line change for the Devils, and a big hit. Sandoy is knocked into the bench. Sandoy's interference. Going. Yeah, that's he made a play into the bench as people were coming off the ice, and he's going to go off for 2 minutes here. And that's another penalty for the Swarm on what was a very dangerous power play for the Red Devils. We'll see if it's if we can pay it off this time with a goal.
I can understand why the Swarm are not happy about that penalty being called there. The Red Devils getting stuck in no man's land on their change there. Just a complete traffic jam at the forward door, not knowing who's coming in and coming out. But then to come in and to crash into that pile of players is never going to end well for the attacking player, even if the change is a shambles.
Yep, exactly, and that is exactly what Sandoy got called for. Out to Nichols. Nichols has it at the near point. He's sending it through, and that's intercepted and sent all the way down. Good defensive effort. Carey's going to have to control. Hopkinson looking for it. He might have gotten there first, but Carey was there just in time to make sure everything stays clean. The Devils looking to break out 5-on-4. Up we go with Orr through neutral. He's going to take the right side. He goes up and gets into the corner looking for a pass. Puck off the side there. Apps out to Nichols. Nichols at the blue line. He passes it to Eden. Eden over his tape. And that gets taken right off Eden's stick. Keeps it in somehow in the zone. That was a nifty move. And another pass. It's errant. This one not quite as clean a power play opportunity for the Devils. But that one goes up into neutral, or into the slot there. And good shot in on Harrison, but Harrison up to it. That puck just couldn't leave the ice. They couldn't get that where there were gaps in the net, and nothing doing, so face-off coming.
I feel like you want to praise the setup of the power play from the Devils. They're doing really well to get it into places. The Chris Eden holder there in the zone, keeping the chances flowing, but there's just kind of no finishing. There's no connection. There's no making a play more than the sum of its parts just yet.
Yep. So Tappan with it, and then he gets it to Bull. Bull back to Tappan. He's going to swing it all the way across. Shot comes in off Harrison. That's going to go, that stays in and gets by Perver. It's going to go all the way down. 53 seconds to go on the power play. And the Red Devils set up their offense. Coming up ice to neutral. Up the left side, that's Perver. He holds on to it, goes behind the cage, goes and rolls around. Sorry, that was Bull all the way around. Perver now has it. And Perver moves it back to Bull as he's on the sideboards out to Tappan. Tappan sends it across. And Fontaine gets one right back at him. Hay bothering him. Tappan out to the top. Shot in. I think that actually hit some post, or a stick hit the post there. Heard a little ring. Fontaine holds on to it. Patient zone by the Swarm. Back out to Fontaine. Fontaine's going to walk it. Then Tappan's got it. He's going to send one low. No deflection in. Fontaine asking for it and gets it. Power play's over. Oh. Shot in and nothing doing. 5-on-5 hockey. Bulls got it still. And it's still in a dangerous spot. A couple of changes for the Red Devils here, and they hold on to this in the offense for an extended period. Reese with it now. He sends it back to Perver. Perver holds on to it. Reese back out at the point, and that was a good play by Tappan to keep that kicked in, but that gets turned back around, and the Swarm out to neutral finally let some pressure off the valve. Puckett with it, shot in on Carey, and Carey bobbles for a second, but then holds on to it to stop play with 2:36 to go in the second period.
The Swarm at the back end are looking really good here, Matt. They're doing a lot right to keep Harrison, and their goalie Harrison looks really solid at the back. Lots of space created for her by her defense too. It's all going right for the Swarm in the second period.
Cole wins that faceoff. They hold it in. Vortnoff's got it. He's looking for a call there for some reason. Not sure why, but that puck goes all the way back. Not sure if it's an ice, but it looks like it will be. No, it's waved off. Dallimore with a forecheck. But Vortnoff holds and skates and circles and holds onto the puck, and getting everybody set up for a good run here to start the last 2 minutes of this period. Big hit there. And a goal. Everybody worried about Mawson getting decked there, and 2 passes away and an easy goal with a defensive lapse for the Red Devils. 3-0 the score. We're down 3 goals, and that's a tough one to come back from. They're going to have to start showing some offensive prowess here and taking some shots to get back in this game.
Yeah, that's also not really good enough in your own end, Matt. Everyone's worried about Mawson there. They don't see the pass coming across, and the Devils looking a little listless here in the last. They're closing 2 minutes of the second period here.
So the Puckett going back out because the Swarm didn't have 5 guys on the ice. And face off. Asking Orr to get reset, and Apps to back off, and the Swarm win that face-off. Puckett with it. He holds on to it, but doesn't get it into the offensive end. Apps skates it back, but he's going to hold on to it, and Nichols with it. Back to Apps. Apps gets Orr in an outlet pass, but he's outmanned 1-on-3, so he's going to dump and chase. Harrison stops it behind the net. A little bit of a mix-up there. Opportunity swatted in. Try to wrap that one in. Can't do it. Nichols with it out on the blue line. He swats it in, but that's deflected off a skate. And puck out to neutral again. Nichols with it. Nichols with a calming influence. Eden with a long back pass. Excellent to Apps. And a shot in by Orr. Just doesn't quite get enough on it. But he had one on his stick there. Orr with a big wrister. Deflected. And that's going to carry back to the Swarm. Back out to neutral. And a big shot and a goal. It's just a wide open game for the Swarm right now. with, I think that was Kozak with a goal there. That just is not what we're used to seeing here. This feels Red Devils of old, with Botany just having their number.
Yeah, you see Botany's come to play today, Matt. We see their season's on the line with this game, and they're showing it right here. 4 goals in the second period. They're just looking dominant over the Red Devils. Will Canterbury have anything to answer it?
And that face-off's going to be retaken. Hopkins and not in good graces with the linesman there, so we'll redrop it. Won by the Swarm there. Johnson with it. Up to Hopkinson. Another shot in. NZIHL has it. Breaks it out to neutral, but sent right back in. And Lowe's going to catch up with that and reset the offense for the Devils. Just under a minute to go in the second period. Commons with Johnson right out in front. He was left alone by the defense there. Again, that's a bit of a lapse with a player right in the crease. And Carey knocks that one aside. That puck's pinned up against the board for the moment. And comes out with the Devils as they look to get out of the defensive zone. They can't do it yet. Mawson holds that one in, but that's out to Bull. Bull with a good pass to Fontaine. Fontaine's going to come up the middle. No, he's going to go up the right side, looking to get a puck through some legs. Can't do it. Trying to go through Mawson. Bad idea. He'll probably figure that one out pretty soon. And Mawson controls. Line change for the Devils. Polozov's going to chase this one down. No icing. He gets that to his friend just in time for the buzzer to go off. Alex, what did I just see here? That's 4-0 in one period. That might be one of the worst periods the Devils have played this year.
Yeah, they just look like they have no confidence going at the moment, Matt. They're looking a little restless in their own end. They look like they don't want to hold on to the puck at the moment. They're turning it over lots. The Swarm are forcing them to do so a lot. The Swarm, they're a really physical team. You see it, they've got big defensemen at the back and they have big forwards at the front, and they're making them pay at the moment. And you see Dan Nichols has called his guys in for a meeting here at the bench. We don't see this often, Matt, before they've hit the changing rooms, but obviously plenty to say.
Yeah, there is a lot to say and be said, but the I guess the point that I would make is that I don't think the goaltenders have really played much in this game at all. The opportunities that have gone by the wayside for the Devils or been buried by the Swarm have mostly been indicative of good pass plays and wide open nets based on good zone passing. And in doing so, they've really just opened up the game, just allowing their offense to have opportunities where the Devils haven't done it.
Yeah, absolutely. Devils look like a totally different team when they're lacking that little bit of the extra step, the extra bit of confidence to make their plays happen, like we see most other days for them. And as a result, they're down 4-0 going into the third period.
Yeah, the score is 4-0. For the Swarm. We're going to take a little bit of a break here for the second intermission. We'll be back a couple of minutes before third period starts. We'll see if the Devils have anything to say about this. They've got a few games to sort this out. If it's not a season end or anything, but they really could use some goals and some offense to get going here. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see you in a few minutes. Back at the Alpine Ice, my name's Matt Chavez. I'm with Alex Ginty. You're watching the NZIHL on YouTube. Kura koto. Welcome back, everybody, to the Alpine Ice Sports and Entertainment Center here in Christchurch, New Zealand. 4-0 the score, and not a good day for the home team so far. Alex, my name's Matt Chavez. I'm here with Alex Genty, and we are broadcasting on YouTube the NZIHL. That is the Canterbury Red Devils at home, down 4-0 to the visiting Botany Swarm. A 4-goal period breakout for the Swarm in that second period, Alex. What are you thinking?
Well, from a home team's perspective here, this is a total wasted opportunity from the Devils here. Like we said, a regulation win today would stamp their ticket to the playoffs, but on the other side of the coin, the Botany Swarm, playing with their backs against the wall, have to get a result today to stay alive in the NZIHL this season, and they've got most of the way there so far. Up 4-0 with 20 minutes to play, they're easily the favorites to take this one.
Yeah, and I was thinking about, I was there at the for the Saturday night win in Queenstown, which was a big deal, a very big deal for this organization to finally get one there. We've been talking about it, and I guess maybe it might even be fair to say that there's a bit of a mental letdown, or just kind of a drop in attention span here, because they accomplished something that was such a big and elusive goal for the organization. The Swarm are, well, they have a bit of an advantage because it seems like we've talked about this all year. The Red Devils are learning to win again. Yep. And they've come miles from where they were at the end of last season. So an 8-4 record. They're doing great generally. And of course, today would be a big step in the right direction. However, they're also human beings, and they do come off of highs just like everybody else. And I think they're learning to handle that a little bit here, because the shots have been there, but they haven't really been, except for one sequence in the second, not too terribly dangerous. Yeah. They obviously haven't buried any of them. Harrison has had a good game, and let's not short her on a fantastic outing this afternoon, still pitching a shutout, but the Red Devils need to put something together quickly. So here we go. Bull with it, and he wins the faceoff for the Devils as we start the third. And that's going to come all the way through. I think they're asking for icing, but I did not get it. No, they did get it. Somebody just forgot to whistle that one down. Andrew Hay with the touch-up there, the rare touch-up in hybrid icing, and that's going to come all the way back for a defensive drop just 9 seconds in.
You think of the emotional stakes going into this game, Matt. The Swarm have to be on top of things, playing essentially an elimination game for them this year. Red Devils, on the other hand, they have a cushion. Like you say, 3 games and this one to play. They can punch their ticket today, but it's not like they have to. Whereas the Botany Swarm, it's win or go home. Whoa, that's right near us.
That was close. That one hit the wall, and we survived, Alex. That's ice hockey for you. Our camera operator's a little bit shaken on that one, but can't say I blame. Everything came out okay. All the gear good. We still on air?
Yeah, playing a little dodgeball with the vulcanized rubber.
Something of note from the Czech Republic, because that's the only place that manufactures those things anymore. That gets swept up and out. So neutral ice or deflection. Nichols is asking for it to be in the offensive zone, and I think he's winning that argument. So face-off coming up for the Devils in the offense. And now in the third period, they're really going to want to get at least one back here in the first half of it. Hopefully 2 to keep on pace, but they definitely need to solve Grace Harrison here if they plan on getting any kind of result this afternoon. Shot in, that's just over the pipe. It's going to go around to the point and not held in, out to neutral. Tappan gives it up for a 2-on-3. Cole's got it. He passes back to Vortnoff. Vortnoff into the corner, back to Cole. Cole's behind the net. That's turned over, and the Devils pull that one back out. Fontaine looking for an outlet pass out to Eden. Eden up the neutrals. He's 1-on-3, gets the zone and holds on to it. Sorry, that was Orr. And that's held on for just a minute. Atkinson with a high shot in. It was off target. Back out to neutral. Tappan with it. Tappan's going to pass it to the other side of the ice, and a couple of changes here. It looks like, no, they're going to stay out. Mawson with a long shot in. That was deflected off Lowe. Lowe and Tappan out there together as a tandem, and that's turned back to the Devils, or with a little bit too much of a lead on that. He's going to collect the puck at neutral, but that gets bounced around up and out by Polozov, and face off at center coming up.
The Red Devils looking to shake up the look of the offense there. I noticed that line was Ord, that was Eden, and that was Jackson Fontaine on what is now the new first line here tonight for the Canterbury Red Devils. So taking Apps off that line, splitting up the offense, trying to get something working. Yeah,
Apps and Eden have been a they have not added up to the sum of their talent together. That's an option for Dodwell, and a shot in by Lowe. Lowe can't get it. Harrison holds on.
Wow, that was close.
That was very close. And a wrister in, another block.
Swarm players sprawling all over the ice.
Kaluzny gives that one up, and that's going to be turned over 1-on-2 to Kozak. Kozak gains the line, looking for a pass to Puckett. That gets deflected away. Back up to Kaluzny. Kaluzny is going to send it through and around and get a line change for the defense, with Nichols and Brown coming back out, as well as Apps, and that's your mix up there, Apps and Sysho. We'll see how that line reacts here, but Korozov doing his very best to sort things out. There was somebody coming up, that was Winston Lee on the other side there, unseen, but an opportunity for the Swarm goes by the boards. They hold on to the puck though, out to Commons. Commons has got it out. Mawson shot in, that's high, stays in. Johnson sends it through the slot into the corner, but the Devils are going to pull out the puck into neutral zone, and well, that's just deflected up. I think that was off Sysho's stick.
Nice take in the crowd.
That was a good one. And she chucks it right back without even thinking about it. That was a good play. Sign her up for netminder there. So neutral ice face-off. Bull's gonna take this one here with Apps and Sysho. And Coach Korozov definitely shaking things up for the third period, and why not? Nobody's scored yet for the Devils, so let's see what can happen here. Sysho's got it. He sends it off the boards. Turn right back around. Hopkinson. That goes up and over to a Red Devils player. That's off to Lowe. Lowe flips it forward. It's on target. No icing here. No, there is. No. I missed that one by just a little bit. It goes just left of Harrison. Icing going all the way back.
Interesting look here on this line. Apps, Bull, Sysho. Perhaps not really what I'm expecting from a different look line there. I think on the contrary, it works quite well. Promoting Fontaine to that top line, I think I like what he can bring to that line a lot, but I'm not sure what Coach Korozov sees here with this combination.
Yeah, I guess it's just a change up in look, if nothing else. They did something there. Shot in on Harrison. Easy low knock to the side with a kick save by Harrison, and play stops as Harrison holds on to the puck. Yeah, I kind of tend to agree with you. I mean, you want your offense working together, but if for nothing else, this is going to give some experience to some of the younger Fontaine on that first line with some speed of Orr and Eden. But I get your point, definitely. It's an odd combination, but we'll see if it pays off here. Most of the cards played by Coach Korozov have paid off this year, so no time to doubt him now. But that is turned around 2-on-1 for the Swarm. It's going to come around right through the slot. Polozov kicked it to the side to Vortinov. Vortinov's holding on to it. That goes out to the point. That's sent all the way back. It's actually on target, and Harrison's going to cover up. Eden's there first. But all that danger just taken right out of the Swarm offensive end. I'm starting to wonder, even now, with just under 4 minutes to go, have the Swarm kind of relaxed a little bit and played back? I mean, not quite parked the bus, but you get my thinking here.
Yeah, it feels like it. It feels like they're trying to make the Devils skate a lot more than periods 1 and 2. Just making them play around the puck, turn around lots on your skates. That's going to take it out of you. There they ice the puck, so the Devils are going to have an opportunity to set it up back in the zone. As Mawson and Eden are still talking, can't imagine that one creates much fireworks just based on the mismatch of size there.
Yeah, so 4-0 the score. The Swarm still up. Just over 16 minutes to go in this one. Apparently we have a bit of a problem with the score bug here, so we'll just kind of call them out here for the rest of the afternoon just to make sure that everybody's up on the scores and stats. That's held on by the Devils for just a moment, but turned back around. Mawson walks that one out to Polozov. Polozov gains the line, but he can't get anything on it. and into the corner, back out, but it's turned over to Eden. Eden's going to have a 2-on-3 here. He's going to go up the right side, gain the zone. Fontaine's kind of following him a little bit there. Brown on the back end, and Harrison holds that one. The Kozak and Puckett lines go back out for the Swarm.
Bringing it back to this new look top line for the Devils, I really like the speed of Fontaine with Orr and with Eden, because Orr and Eden especially, they're the sort of rushing of that top line anyway, with Apps acting as more of the sniper role on it. Putting Fontaine on that line gives you a lot of speed up top, wanting to create off the fast break and get it done that way. Yeah,
Kaluzny with a shot there that goes flying out of the arena very quickly. I would agree with you. I think the part that has to come together, they've been doing a much better job this season with spacing.
Yeah.
But that spacing has to come together and work for them with these lines quickly, because there's not going to be a lot of room for error on that. Brown's going to track that one down. Well, it turns out, I think that was Kozak with it for just a moment. And right out in front of Carey, but it's going to be turned over. The Devils are going to break 3-on-2. The pass kind of out there for Dodwell, but he's got to fight Sandoy for it, and Sandoy wins that battle. Hayes got it sent back. That's a shot, but it was kind of a funny angle there by Kaluzny. And Kaluzny can't get it right out in front, so Puckett's going to take it out. 3-on-3. Puckett gains the line, holds up a little bit. Winston Lee with it now. And he's going to skate behind. Post came off again as Carey kind of jammed into that to make sure that he had the post covered. So face-off coming up.
A trend I've been noticing tonight all night long is the Swarm's big players, your Kozaks, your Korozovs, your Polozovs, all your big players, guys like Mawson on the back end, they have a lot of really big bodies, and they're using that to their advantage. They're using the spinning drop passes, things like that. They use their size to zone the Devils, and it looks like the Devils can't really handle it at the moment.
Mawson's shot just gets deflected and was very dangerous, but ends up in the corner harmlessly as that it's kind of trickles through. And a bit of a turnover here. Who is that? Right out in front. Toe drag, but that was Dalmato. And then it goes back out to Apps. Apps has got it up the left side, but he gets turned over. Dalmato with that again, looking for Hill. He gets it up to Hill, up the left side. Sorry, up the right side. He gets a shot off. That goes out to neutral, but another dangerous one. And a lot of clock coming off for the Swarm in this case with just over 14 minutes to go. Back out to neutral. And turned over. That's onside. SIHL had it for just a moment. Now Apps controls it. He looks for the pass. A little tight in there for Bull. Bull can't hold on to it. Hay gets it back out to neutral. Then we get back to the defense as they play back and forth for just a moment. And turned back over, but SIHL can't hold on to it. That pass goes up to Hopkinson. Hopkinson can't play it to Commons. Tappins got it back to Hopkins from Hopkinson. Go figure. And Fontaine not able to hold that one. That's going to turn over. Johnson with it. Shots in front, and Commons doing a good job of trying to just shove that one home. He couldn't do it, but he's right out in front and pretty much unguarded.
How many times have we seen that tonight, Matt? The player right in front of Tim Carey there, but nothing for the Devils to zone him or get him out of the way. Just kind of free reign for the Swarm right in front of the goalie.
Yeah, it poses an interesting situation in the sense that the defense is cheating, if you will, cheating out and not having somebody designated stay home and make sure that the crease stays clear for Carey. Back out to neutral. Swarm reset. They throw it in. Hopkinson had it for a moment. Turned over. Turned back over. And Eden and Fontaine couldn't decide what to do. Sandoy knocks over Hopkins, but from behind. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like there's a call there. It's just going to be offsides. But Hopkins took one back left shoulder there. It was a bit of a surprise there that just went by the way, and everybody was okay with that, but it looks like the puck was close enough to him.
If anything, the Swarm bench was more than okay with that one. We got some hooting, some hollering after that hit there. They're energized. They're up 4-0. There's 13 minutes to play. They're feeling real good.
They are doing really well this afternoon. The Swarm, if you're you've already used the buzzing pun, so I can't do that anymore, but a lot to be proud of. How's that?
Yeah, there
Is that
you go.
worse?
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's awful. All right. Red Devils flip that back out to neutral, looking for a long pass for Eden. No icing here coming. And that stays in the zone for just a moment. Brown with it. He keeps it in at the point, but that's turned over, and the Swarm break back out. Right at Nichols, but that's Polozov chasing. And turned back around. Eden's going to come to the right side, but he's looking for a pass. He gets that done off to Fontaine, but Fontaine's outskated by Vortinoff, and Vortinoff picks that right off his stick. Back out to the middle. Polozov throws it off the board, back to neutral. Nichols tries to get it back in, and that's offside. Fontaine not knowing where he was at the in that play, and kind of stops play for Orr. He actually had a good run up the left side there.
And there's the result of being new to each other's lines, right?
Yep.
You're not linked in with your other teammates, and that's kind of been a theme for the Devils tonight as well. They're just not really linking on their plays. I think they're playing fine individually, but nothing's really coming together and clicking as it normally does for this team.
Yeah, and the Swarm have done exactly the opposite. They've managed to connect a couple of passes in the offensive ends, and that's been a majority of the cash-ins that they've had for the 4 goals this afternoon. Turned over, neutral ice, coming up the right side. That's Low with it, looking for Dodwell. Dodwell's going to go get behind there and throw his body behind, but he can't hold on to the puck. Swarm have it. They're looking to break out. They get it to Kozak. Kozak can't quite hold on to it, but Mawson's got it. He skates a circle. Puckett's got it. That stayed in the zone, so they're onside. Puckett holds on to it in the corner. Out to Mawson. Mawson with a big slap, but not too fast. It was deflected down and away from Carey, and this one is on Carey's glove, and he stops play with 11:21 to go in the third.
Man, I am not jealous of these Red Devils players having to get in front of those Mawson slap shots. He's a big boy. He skates well for a big guy, to be fair, but he could really unload one from the point.
Yeah, and I think he hasn't yet. I mean, he's got a slap shot that's ridiculous, but he keeps looking for a very moderated opportunity to get it in the net. It doesn't matter how fast it goes if it goes between the pipes. So been controlled, but he might let one go. We'll see. Commons. And Sysho knocks that one back. Mawson with it. That's icing is called there, so Reese is back, and that's going to stop play. 10:57 to go in the third, and Alex, this is also that point where I was looking for a goal in that first half of the first period. We're getting awfully late here. I know goals can happen fast. For example, it was 4-1 at the with 3 minutes to go at the end of Friday night's game against the Stampede, and we got it all the way back to 4-3 and pulled a goalie, but that's where a 2-goal lead or a 3-goal lead was just one enough. And that's what we need to break up here. And wow! I just had to ask. That's all it was. Chris Eden with a big slap shot. And that finally beats Grace Harrison to her left and makes this a 4-1 game.
He's showing you right there why he's the all-time NZIHL points leader there, Matt. He just walks that one in, winds it up, lets it go, beats Grace Harrison clean, 4-1 game, 10 minutes, 46 seconds to play.
And that was nearly from the blue line, so she had a good chance at looking at it, but it was just a bit too zippy. 3-goal difference. So we will really looking, the next goal here is going to be paramount. It either goes to a 4-goal lead again, and it's pretty much over, or we've got us a good finish on the way. We'll see what the Devils can do, but that's an individual effort by Chris Eden finally pays off. Cole with it. Shot in on Carey. That was a knuckler. It hit his shoulder and goes up and over the crossbar. And Cole has it. He's out to Sandoy. Sandoy at the point, sends it in. Carey couldn't see it. There's a penalty coming, and that looks like it's going to go against the Swarm.
High stick?
That looks like it may have been a high stick against Cole, but we'll find out for sure. Well, we'll try to find out for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a high stick rather than a penalty call. That shot that came in got up above the crossbar, dragged right down, so then blown down and taken outside of the zone.
So not a penalty here. High stick played, but no 2 minutes. So Andy Hayes going to knock it back. Tappan's going to collect it out to Apps. Apps looking to clear it out, but he can't do it yet. That goes to Vortinoff. He's in a dangerous spot right in the slot, just over the crossbar. The game was on his stick there, didn't bury it. Carey looking around, following the puck. And sent back in. That missed the goal, but that's going to go around. Bortnoff chases, holds it in. Polozov with it now in the corner. And the Swarm looking pretty good with an offensive opportunity. That breaks out, sent forward to Dallimore. He did not touch it, so no ice, or it looks like he could have touched it or did. So no icing there. Bulls got it. Into Apps, past Apps. Mawson has it. Looks like a line change coming up for the Devils if they can get it. But it's held in the zone. A couple of players coming off. And that's still held in. Out at the point. Shot in. Long shot. And Harrison holds. And that was Tappan with a long wrister there. Pretty easy stop, but at the same time, that black background in the Alpine Ice can play tricks. Well worth taking that shot.
Absolutely. We've seen it a few times already this season. That can take nothing for granted, really. It's a hard backdrop to play against. You got the crowd, you got the black backboards. That's very hard to see a black puck against. Good job from Grace Harrison to keep it out.
Bull with that for just a moment, but turn right back around. Puckett has it off to Kozak. Kozak runs up the left. He's trying to get something in front. Couldn't get it to Puckett. Shot in. That was a good one by Winston Lee, and that was covered up by Carey. Another good positional play as that puck came across. But once again, no changes because I think they're calling a goal off the net again. Is that what happened?
I guess so. It didn't feel like it came off that time, but they didn't even put it back on. No changes for no reason.
Yeah, so no changes. And face-off one. It's by the Swarm. They're going to collect it, but it turns into a Red Devils shot.
No.
The shot right in front. Kozak with it. And that was a high bounce, not on target, but that was close. And they're playing with fire here. Dodwell up the left side. He's going to get into the boards from Simon and played around. Simon's got it. And the Swarm play it out. Nichols throws it back in, allowing for some changes for the Devils, which is what they needed. Fontaine back out, a little bit of a forecheck, 3 players up, and that turns the puck over. Sent back in, and that's going to come in on Harrison, and Harrison's just going to close that one up and force the face-off because Eden couldn't quite get there in time. 8:27 to go in a 4-1 game.
Gotta say the Swarm are doing a good job at, again, calming this game down after that goal against. 4-1 game, you figure there's a chance it could start to pop off and get hairy for them, but they've done a good job at quieting it back down again.
Eden missing the full impact of that shot as it kind of goes off the heel of the stick. And slightly offsides, goes back around. The Devils going to bring this one in. Fontaine trying to get some speed. Jackson knocked off the puck by Mawson. And drop down Nichols with it. Oh, that was a dangerous shot in from Eden. He couldn't quite get anything on it, but it was an open net. And off the wall. Nichols is going to chase this one down with Johnson forechecking for the Swarm. Good work by them, but Eden has it, and they collect it. And do they gain the zone? No, they don't. That goes all the way back. This will not be icing. Brown's got it. And sends it around to Apps. Apps to Nichols. Nichols gets that one up to Lowe as he gains the zone. Looking for Dallimore on the other side, but they can't get that puck out, at least not yet, and that's out to neutral. Nichols throws it back in, and everybody goes after the chase. And that's misplayed behind by Simon. Polozov with it for a moment. And, excuse me, that was Vortinoff with it. Polozov's now there. Funny how I get those guys mixed up. It happens.
2 off boys.
Yeah. And turn back over, looking for a long pass. Can't quite get there. No icing coming here. Simon knocks it around, and Dallimore kind of hits the boards hard, but just engaging himself there, didn't get another player, and that's sent forward. The Swarm looking to get off the ice, and they do so. Get some fresh players, and Tappan with the puck. He moves it outside, and Dallimore's got it for just a moment. He's going to go straight up the middle, gains the zone, kicks it to the side, takes the shot. Wrister bounces. Harrison kicks it away. And that goes back out to neutral. Devils looking for a change themselves. They may get caught here. No, it's the Kozak's got it in the corner, but the tired defense of the Swarm make a change, so no big deal here. Well, that's right in front, and Carey's got to cover that up. Some good work by Winston Lee there, covering keeping that puck on that side of the ice. 6:08 to go. Again, Alex, this is that point where you're going to start to need that second goal to make a push at this. They've got to take more shots.
Absolutely. Swarm doing a really good job at shutting it down, too. I saw the speed of Kozak there, getting up the right wing. Just kind of showing up the lack of speed on the back end of the Devils there. A little bit laissez-faire on the back end, but Devils getting the shot now in the offensive zone.
Simon doing a good job to get that out, but the Devils moving that puck right up, and then it's turned right back at them. Sarkondi with it, and a non-slap there. Was a little bit of a delayed shot, and Sarkondi loses it. Bulls got it, and Bulls 1-on-3, but he's looking to some of his mates, and it turns out he may have crossed over a little bit early with Eden on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely crossed the line early there. He looked not stoked with the call, but was pretty clearly across the line. Eden was in too far up the right wing, and offsides the call.
Aotearoa Gaming Trust, Fisher and Spinorama, Cedra Express, Majors Contracting, Spark New Zealand, Go Media. Thank you all very much for sponsoring us here in the 2022 season at the Alpine Ice with the Canterbury Red Devils. Thank you very much for your sponsorship. And icing being called, so that's going to come all the way back right by Harrison's goal for an opportunity for the Devils. You know, it's interesting looking at it is a very chilled out bench here. You have to remember too that in Auckland, the Swarm took Queenstown to two overtime games as well, winning one of them. So there's some confidence there in the team in white. They know what they're doing, for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how they close this one out, or if the Devils start figuring out the offense just in the nick of time. Out to Brown at the point. Brown's got it. He sends a low one in. That's going to go all the way back to Nichols. Nichols, big slap shot, missed the goal. That's going to send itself all the way around the arena. Brown's going to collect it. 5 minutes to go in this afternoon's contest so far. Up to Fontaine. He let that one go a little bit too much. Again, that spacing and knowing where his teammates are. Brown's got it. Brown's going to turn that around. App's back out on the ice. That pass goes up to Fontaine. Misses his tape. That's going to go for icing. And a face-off coming up near Tim Carey.
You can see the Red Devils have it going there. All their players are skating, they're moving well, the puck control is good, but the passes aren't connecting. You see Fontaine leaving it a little bit on the right wing. You see other players kind of dropping and going and not really connecting cleanly with the drop and go. That slows down your whole play. That makes everything work way slower. That telegraphs your play a lot more to the defense as well when it's not clicking smoothly.
It does. That's turned over, and App's coming down the left side. He's looking to hold up and shoot. That was deflected on the way in by Simon's right leg. And as that gets deflected away, Tappan's going to collect it. The Devils running out of time here this afternoon at the Alpine Ice with 4:25 to go in the third, down 4-1. That pass goes all the way across. Mawson takes care of it and cycles around in neutral, stays in neutral, and collected by Tappan. Luke Tappan knocks that one forward, and it gets redeflected to Cole. Vortnoff. And his shot's deflected on the way in. Mawson with it out in front. And a shot in. That time Vortnoff was held by Tappan, and Tappan's doing a good job right in front, doing what he can for Cole. That's turned over, 2-on-1. Eden with it. He's going to take a shot. That's off the side netting. Not on target. Off to Polozov. Polozov to Cole. Cole gets it out. Nichols is waiting, takes a long shot in off the glass. Everybody clears. And the Swarm looking to get out. Carey Lowe with it. Taps it forward to Eden. Eden gets his stick moved, and Kozak ends up with it. It goes into the backboards. Nichols follows along. And that puck just keeps bouncing around here. Nichols doing a good job of holding on to it. And it gets turned all the way back. And Puckett's going to hold on to it and try to get it in for a slot opportunity, but that gets bounced away. That's going to require a change for the Red Devils. And
offside?
Either offsides or, no, I think it was a bench situation where it hit there, but they were changing, so not sure where that's going to be. But nonetheless, stop in play, just over 3 minutes to go. 4-1 the score, and now we are at the dangerous moment of it is very hard to come back. Goal a minute.
Oh, absolutely. You might even pull your goalie. You're down 3. The game feels like it's not out of reach yet, but 3 minutes of playtime to score some goals.
And that's NZIHL with it down by the net with Harrison, but they can't get anything off. Mawson carefully collects it, goes all the way down the ice, gains the zone, up the right side with Commons. Commons can't get a hold of it, and that turns around to Fontaine. He's going to have a long pass. That's gloved down by Hopkinson. And a play into the corner here. Lowe knocks some people around. Puck goes out into the bench area for the Swarm. Face-off coming.
Looks like our lines are back to the way they always are, Matt. Fontaine was back on a second line there, and Bradley Ass has just come back out with Eden and Joe Orr. So the traditional first line for the Devils that's got it done all season long, reunited with 3 minutes to play.
Now that's dropped into the zone for just a moment, but back to neutral. They're going to have to reset this. A lot of noise coming out of the Swarm. They're just trying to finish this one off, and they're looking good to do it. That shot in by Harrison, but she can't control it. And Eden was brought down in the effort, but everything okay there. Now that goes out to neutral. Brown and Nichols are going to have to skate back for a 2-on-2, looking for Andy Hay. And Hay not able to get his stick on the ice. That turns right back around. 4-on-3 opportunity for the Devils, but that's kicked right back out to neutral. Vortenoff sends it through. Not sure if Hay got this, but Winston Lee's there first. And they continue to hold possession with a 4-1 lead. Nichols has it now in the corner. That's up to Eden. Eden can't do anything with it. He had 2 players on him, off to Kozak. Kozak sends it through. That is offsides, not by much, but Puckett, I think, was ahead of his own puck. Yeah, don't say that often.
You see how well the Swarm is doing here at just shutting this game down, using their bodies effectively. I like to say especially Kozak in the offensive zone. He does a really good job of getting his body between the puck and the Red Devils player. Perhaps not the greatest way of creating offense, but you're up 4-1. You don't need to create a whole lot of offense to win this game. Just slowing it down, making sure the Red Devils don't have the puck, making sure they can't string plays together, and that's how the Swarm are closing this one out.
That puck goes out of play and into the, well, a little boy is very happy for the moment, but I think that's only going to be like a 99-cent souvenir. We'll see.
Oh, he gets to keep it.
All right. Good for him. He's going to be thrilled for that. Minute 27 to go. And Lowe to take this one with Tappan and Dodwell to get close to closing this one out. And you have to see some really special stuff here to pull carry at this point. That goes out to... was that Apps? No, it wasn't. That was Harry Lowe that was skating hard there. Off to his brother, Josh. And that goes in and out and offsides. So another harmless offsides play. It looks like this one's going to finish out this way. So let's talk about what this means. I do know that it was, at least the last I looked, 4-0, and the Thunder were doing nobody any favors with the Admirals well ahead in their game.
Yeah, so that means for the Red Devils, essentially same scenario tomorrow for them, assuming they lose this game here today. They'll go in tomorrow, and if they can win it in regulation, as the Swarm are doing today, they will still book their spot to the playoffs and eliminate the Swarm from contention.
Yep.
However, today the Swarm do get the job done, keep themselves alive in this league, and make tomorrow an awfully big game, Matt.
Yeah, even if we went into overtime, that doesn't clinch. That's a whole other set of maths that I don't want to do right now because it's not going to be relevant, most likely. Shot in on Harrison, and she does a great job gloving that one and holding on. Harrison with a fantastic afternoon of play. Just the one shot in from Chris Eden at the blue line that got by her, but nothing else. One of the best performances she's had this year. That puck's won by the Swarm, and they've got Kozak coming up the left. He's going to hold up, take a wrister. That's deflected up and out. Yes, it was out. Came back off the netting pretty quickly, but that's done. And with 30 seconds to go, we'll see this one out with a face-off in the defensive zone. So let's talk about that. The game's going to be what it's going to be, but the playoff situation. So if we get a win in regulation, it gets us 3 points, and tomorrow that would put us 7 in front of the Swarm with 2 games to go for them, and that would also eliminate the Swarm from contention. And that's why they needed both of these. Good hit in the corner there. And as that puck sits behind Carey, we're right out in front of goal. There it is. That was Winston Lee.
The man who got his bell rung on me a few seconds earlier.
Sure did. And that puts an exclamation point on this win for the Swarm today. 5-1 the score is how we're going to finish up. I think it was pretty well wrapped up anyways, but that one's going to bother a few defenders, I think, on that one. And it's going to be a quick turnaround. Last week, Dave made the point that, you know, it's 2 games in 24 hours, so it's not a lot of rest, and it really does need to be a quick turnaround here. So the story for tomorrow is clearly going to be, can the Devils sort themselves out in just a 24-hour period? And also, will Matt Canada be in goal for the Swarm? Bit of a different dynamic, if you will. Canada is streakier. We'll just say that.
All right, gotcha.
Streakier. But, yeah, Harrison's been playing a bit more than Canada has, but Canada has been in the games pretty regularly. So, you know, between that and the line tinkering and everything today, it's really going to be, I mean, there's not a lot of time to fix things here. It's back to back. You got to get this sorted out. So after a huge win in Queenstown, you get a bit of a letdown here, but the Red Devils lose one at home 5-1, and it's going to be a very interesting game tomorrow, as it always is. Tomorrow closes out the regular season for the Red Devils. If they end up with a 3 seed or not making the playoffs, that will be the last game. So if you get a chance to come out here to the Alpine Ice, please take the opportunity to come see it. I know everybody's going to be tuning into the All Blacks here in a few minutes, but at least the hockey, we appreciate you guys sticking around and watching the game with us. A big sports day here in Christchurch.
Yeah, we got a spicy one tomorrow now, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow's match suddenly becomes a lot bigger than it otherwise would have been if the Devils secured a win today. Tomorrow, there's a lot to play for. Swarm, again, need to keep themselves alive. Red Devils, again, can book themselves a spot in the playoffs. But tomorrow, it means a lot more for both teams.
It does.
If the Red Devils can't get it done tomorrow, they go into Auckland in 3 weeks' time, and then all of a sudden, those games become super crucial. And you're probably fighting for the 3 seed realistically at that point, because the Admirals are getting the job done against the Thunder today. Of course, they have another game tomorrow, but for the Red Devils, you still have a chance to control your own fate this season, and they got to come out big time tomorrow. Take that into their own hands, get it done, and book their spot in the playoffs. Go to Auckland in a couple of weeks with a chance to make some more noise.
Yeah, in the end, this game will probably not mean too much, but it's going to go down as one of those opportunities that, as a team, they need to learn how to win these games and put them away so that the next game that they don't really care too much about is the one that they let go, or vice versa. It's just a matter of maturity, but going 8-5 is still miles better than where they were last year. So with that in mind, I think we've got ourselves a fantastic setup for tomorrow. It's just going to be a very dynamic situation. See who comes out, see who plays, see who's in goal, and see how things go for the Devils tomorrow afternoon, as this afternoon's game ends up 5-1 in the visitors win coming up here from Auckland. So, Alex, I think we'll see you in 24 hours, even less than that. It's another game of hockey for us tomorrow.
Yeah, same time, same place, Matt.
Yep.
Lots of chances tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. They'll get it done.
Yep, and if you're still watching this for some strange reason, switch over to the other game and see what's going on over there. I'm sure it'll be an interesting finish. So we'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Take care.